Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. T1 just announced that they have signed Doran for their top lane position, meaning Zeus is moving on. Currently, we don't have news on where he's moving, but we can safely assume that he's going to Han Wildlife to get the money. I think, I made a tweet the other day. What could be the reasons to entice somebody to leave T1? It could be wanting to move on from the roster, being a part of that roster for a very long time could weigh heavy on you. The T1 lifestyle comes with a lot of pressures. You're basically like a K-pop star if you are on T1, and the schedule can be very, very gruesome, and it can definitely take a toll on its players, which is something that we've seen. And this could be a moment in time where T1 leveraged the fact that, of course, they already have 4 players signed in Faker, Gumyushi, Korea, and of course Owner. And in that position, you can offer to pay a player less, especially with, of course, the economical downturns that are happening in the LPL. But I am going to guess now that How Life is going to be the roster that signs Zeus in the end. So we're going to just have a straight up trade Doran for Zeus. I think a very important thing to highlight, I think, people are going to be shocked by the move, and at first I was too, but more so because Zeus left more than anything else. If you can't get Zeus and Keen is staying with the Gen.G roster that is rumored to just add Ruler and Duro, who are you going to get in the LCK? Doran is, of course, the third best top laner, whatever way you want to swing it or tell it. And Doran, I think domestically has had good performances. I think the main issue with Doran is that he is kind of the antithesis of what this T1 roster has been. I think when it comes to competing in the LCK, I think there could be borderline reasons as to why they could be a little bit more competitive, because Doran can be very solid, and it might give everyone on the team a chance to kind of reinvent themselves in a way, because Zeus plays a very specific way in terms of getting counter picks, while Doran, he has his moments playing on the weak side and so forth. I guess the main, thing for Zeus, what made him so much more attractive this year, is the fact that he showcased a very different style at the World Championship in comparison to what he usually does with his Ornn and Gragas gameplay. But I repeat, Doran domestically, even this year, is a force to be reckoned with. I think the main issue with Doran that everybody remembers is always the final series that he plays in the end of a year, whether it was last year against Bilibili or this year against Bilibili. He doesn't look that great. And those series are very, very memorable in terms of his decision making, and he doesn't have, the clutchness that T1 comes with. But maybe the T1 aura can give him that and enable him to new heights and new limits, because, joining T1 always changes players, leaving T1 always changes players. So, Zeus leaving, crazy news, absolutely crazy news. I am deeply saddened by one major aspect, right? I think that we're already blessed with this roster being together for so long that demanding and asking for more is tough at this point. But I think with the rumors of Bilibili staying together, the Bilibili T1 rivalry, I felt was just beginning. In a way that could have been so beautiful this year with the 3 international tournaments. And now with Zeus out of T1, I feel like Zeus versus Bin is such a central point of that rivalry because, of course, in my opinion, Bin and Zeus are the 2 top laners that are in the top lane GOAT conversation because of their demonic runs in the last 3 years. For Bin, of course, 4 years because he was in World Finals 2020, and these are very, very young players, and we were at the cusp of something. So maybe there will be ways for How Life, if they sign Zeus, to of course get themselves to international tournaments. because obviously How Life, I think them adding the firepower in Zeus, if there's a world where Zeus plays together with Delight and Peanut, I think that's a pairing that is insanely good. You know, if you have Zeus and Zeka as your solo laners, I do think that Delight and Peanut are like just plain and simple, the perfect, you know, facilitators for that. When T1's fabric is that they play through the carry that is Carrier and of course the carry that is Zeus in most cases in terms of how they draft. So we're going to see new sides to T1 and new sides to, of course, Zeus and his future team. So that's going to be super, super interesting to follow. I think that this does make, you know, the LCK super, super competitive in terms of some of the roster shuffles that have happened. And that makes me so excited. But the end of Zofgk. And now we have Dofgk. It's a little bit too close to Dofus, but I don't want to sell Doran too short. Maybe there's a world where he's going to cook, and the main question will be, how will his international performance look like? That is the main question. What will his international performance look like? Because domestically, he's a beast. Genuinely, domestically, he has been good. Especially this year, domestically, he's been very solid. Still does goofy ass mistakes where you think to yourself, why does this guy have a job? But I think in terms of his volume, he's solid. But then the question is, how will he perform at internationals? And, you know, with the current split system, there is a little bit of a higher weight on, you know, performing domestically to make sure that you qualify to, for example, the first one or the second one or the third one. But I think that Doran's ceiling is nowhere, absolutely nowhere close to the Zeus ceiling. And I think that when you measure yourself at the internationals, ceiling, mechanical skill ceiling is king. So I don't know what's going to happen. Tell me what you think. This is just such a crazy move. I woke up to this move. It was announced. And you know, even though I can rationalize it because there's just no top laners and taking a risk on a rookie at this point in the market is crazy talk. Hopefully maybe they get like a sub or something that sits behind Doran or something like this, you know, to put pressure on him. Maybe he doesn't need more pressure. I'm not so sure. You know, there was a fan that speculated a move which I thought would have been so gangster. If they couldn't get Zeus, if they could push for a Chovy signing top lane, that could have been the killer move that would win the LCK and make them potentially stronger, you know, on a global scale, because it would kill the competition. I would make them better. It would be basically the new version, the equivalent of G2 2019 cap signing mid and Perks going 80, the equivalent of that with Chovy going top lane. I think that could have been like the master ace move, but Gen.G, of course, for those who don't know, they really cooked together a beautiful, really nice roster. They brought in Ruler. I don't know too much about Duro, but this is what's rumored. So basically they have Ruler, Keen, Canyon, Chovy. Oh my days. You have Chovy being an absolute domestic demon and, you know, being, you know, over the span of the whole year, just the greatest player. And now you come to the World Championship with players in each position, borderline, that can just clutch it up when it matters. And that's going to be so crazy to follow too. Tell me what you think. I am at a loss for words, truly. I am at a loss for words. I just tell me what you think. This is crazy talk. It's straight up crazy talk. Mad days. It's just nuts. Yeah. I'm flabbergasted. Yeah. I have nothing else to add. Bless you.